So this is our secured website, which you can log into from the main page of the website. When you log in, the two big things is we have the firm email to email everyone if you have any, questions or need like an inspector for a certain area, or some sort of vendor for repairing a roof and so forth. You can send an email out either from regular email, send it to that, or you can just click on this. And even if you have just a forwarding email account with us, you can still send out an email to the group. The other thing is we have announcements, which is primarily things that are important, will be important for a long time. So we have some things in here like a virtual staging service where they Photoshop your listing photos to put furniture and pictures and fires in the fireplace and that kind of stuff. And the place that we found is by far the most affordable. It's $25 for six pictures. And then we have the HUD bidding information if you ever need to bid for a HUD listing or HUD auction for one of your clients, since that goes through the main office account. And then we have some other stuff like the 1031 exchange companies. We've had quite a few lately for that. So those are some services to help you out, and we'll add in other stuff. And then the next button, that's the home page. The next button, we have broker-owned properties, where you should enter in any properties that you own and mark whether it's your residence or if it's a rental property. Next is the broker profile. If you need to update any of your information, you can upload a new photo if you get a new photo, or if you don't have a photo, we definitely recommend you upload it. You're much more likely to get a lead from our website if it shows a photo. And then you can update your contact information, your mailing address, emergency contact information. And then your bio is just kind of a bit about yourself, kind of like a resume. Put in, what areas you've worked, how long you've been in the business, anything that you specialize in, you can put in there. And then if you need any tips, this has some tips on how to like add links and so forth in there, and then just submit changes when you're done. And then one of the newer features, you can do specializations, which this will actually add tags to your profile page. At the bottom, like you've probably seen on like social network websites and so forth. So you can check what types of property you specialize in, whether it be residential or commercial or land.
Does that help?
Yeah, that helps a little. Yeah.
And then if you do have any videos from YouTube, you can actually embed a video, which if you click the share button on your YouTube video, embedding is one of the options. It'll give you a block of code to just copy and paste. And then just to make sure there's nothing inappropriate or anything like that, the staff does have to approve videos. So it won't appear right away. But when we log in, we'll get a notice saying that you've uploaded a video that's waiting for approval. We can go ahead and just take a quick peek at it. And hey, Evans, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, I was a little bit late.
That's okay. We waited a bit to get started, just to see if anyone else showed up. And then, of course, had a few technical issues starting out.
Okay.
But yeah, we just got started. So the main thing, I'm not sure if you filled yours out or not, but when you log into the website under broker profile, you want to check and make sure everything's up to date on there. And you can upload a photo if you don't have one, and any contact information that needs updating. So on the next page, we've got case studies and training. So the training videos is just our YouTube channel that has videos like this. So like once this is done, we'll upload it to there. And we have a bunch of, various meetings, usually not the office meetings. It's usually whoever's attending that, we're not going to be sharing their stuff. But for some we do. And then for all of our meetings, like the ones Chelsea's doing, as well as this, are going to be up there. And then the case studies is going to be kind of the most important of the emails that Pat has sent out, dealing with, if there's any big law changes or paperwork changes from the MLS, we'll put notices in here. And then the case studies is real world examples of stuff agents have run into, with Pat going through, how to handle it, what could possibly go wrong, various things and various scenarios like that. So she does email those out, but we archive them in here so you can look them up. And for newer agents, they don't have that in their email, so they can look at the older stuff in here. And then we also have a link in here to our partner for clock hours if you need to renew your license. That's through Rockwell. And there is a discount because we're a partner with them if you go through this link versus just going to their website. And then we have the Office downloads, which is forms that we've created for agents for like open house check-ins, buyer checklists. We have our fax cover sheet, letterhead. We also have some stuff reposted from the MLS, just a little easier to find on our website than hunting through theirs, for like the COVID flyers for open houses. We have packets of all the standard forms you might need. So if you're in a big hurry, you don't have time to go in the transaction desk and fill out everything in Wizard, you can come in here. Like if you're doing a condo listing, you can just download that, print it, right out the door, and you've got all the regular forms that you would need, to actually start that transaction. Obviously, if you do have time, transaction desk is the best way to have it all saved online. You can do the e-signatures and all that, but we have that just in case, you just need it quick. And then we'll also have from like the office meetings, if we get handouts from the speakers, we'll upload that into here. So here's a office meeting handouts. So you can always go back. If you missed a meeting, you can at least come back, read that through the handouts, or if you even if you did go to the meeting, it's good for reference. And then we also have training material for guides for like the DOL rules for marketing, social network, posts and stuff. And tips on like farming, cold calling. And then lastly, we have a link to our vendor list, which it's an Excel file. So you can save that and add your own if you want. But what's on the website will be the most up-to-date version. Whenever agents recommend stuff, we'll add them. And if you want to go straight to that, we do have a link in the main menu here, straight to the Excel file. So under here, after the training, we've got link straight to the clock hour classes. You're in a hurry for that. And then the Cma Tools. The Instant Office CMA is, a bunch of stock content about our company, about the home selling process that you can give to your clients. And then you can add printouts from the MLS of your comparables. This is kind of a quick, again, if you're in a hurry, you can do this and get something that looks nice. I can open this up here real quick and skim through. So there's all stock content you can use, and add to your marketing materials. The interactive CMA is the Toolkit CMA, which you should get an email when you first join us with your login for that. If you don't have it, just let us know. We can resend it to you. And that's one where you can actually export your comparables from the MLS into their system, and it'll create, charts for that specific CMA. So that's the best option if you have the time, and it's a free service through through that Office. And then there's also a blank seller presentation where you can fill in the blanks to create your own presentation. That popped up in a new window, so it's probably not going to show in the video or in the screen capture. So then below that, we have basic contact manager. If you don't have your own, again, with everything the MLS provides, that's kind of the best place to keep your contacts, unless you have a system like Top Reducer or something similar. But we have this if you need something to organize all your stuff, and you can export it to a CSV, which you can use in Excel or any other system. The decode nickname is mainly for the older agents. We haven't been doing nicknames as much lately, but if you have an agent's nickname, you can enter that in to find out who that agent is. Like my nickname is Bacardi. And it's got staff in there too. And then we have a quick tool if you do cold calling for the do not call list, where you can enter in phone numbers to see if they've been blocked or not for calling. You do still have to sign up through the do not call list if you're doing that. Since you're all independent contractors, you actually have to have your own account. They do have a pretty good system now, which is similar to ours. But we had this because previously you could only search one number at a time or hire someone to make your own system. So we have our own where you can look up 10 numbers at a time. So for anyone that's doing the cold calling, that's a handy tool. And then for email, most people, you're going to have your email forwarded to your home email. But if you do have an only email through the Office, this is where you would check it and you can send email. So next we have our flyers. The easiest to use are the Autofill Flyers, which this uses the data we have provided through the IDX from the MLS. And you can go through and choose from a variety of templates. And as long as the listing is active in the MLS, you can actually just put in the listing number and it will fill in everything from the listing data. And then for each photo, you can actually just click on the picture. It'll pop up a gallery of all the listing photos. You pick the one you want and it'll automatically save it. And then you just hit save at the end and it'll give you a PDF that you can either print or email. And we've got, I think it's 18 templates in here. So these are the most, and if it's not active in the MLS, you can manually upload photos as well and fill in the remarks and so forth. And then the interactive flyers, this is through the Toolkit CMA. On theirs, because the MLS only exports the main photo, you will have to upload your photos to those flyers, but they have about 75 different templates that you can use. And then if you're doing any of your own stuff, like in Publisher or Canva, we have logos and stock art that you can use. So here's a variety of logos for the office, different sizes. And the biggest thing you want to watch out for, when you hover over it, you'll see the name. If it says printing, that's going to be a very big picture designed for printing, like if you're doing your own flyers in Publisher, or if you're having an outside graphics designer do something for you. And then other ones will say web or web email. Those are small logos you want to use, like if you're adding a logo to your signature in your email, use that one. It will make your emails much smaller, which everyone will appreciate. And they also, like on your website, it'll load much faster than loading a printed version. And then under the stock art, we have a whole bunch of different pictures that we have purchased under the company name, so any of our brokers can use those in their marketing. And for all of these, just find the one you want to use, and you would just right-click and save image as, and then save it in your downloads or your documents. And then next, we have a quick shortcut to the MLS packets. Like I said, these are primarily if you're in a hurry. But we do also have some of our own company forms, such as a multiple offer worksheet. If you have a listing, you've got more than one offer. You want to use this to list everything out, the pros and cons of each offer, as far as how much your seller is actually going to get from that offer, and then they can see that, quickly compare which is the best offer, and then that should be turned in with your paperwork when you upload that to Champions. We also have a quick paperwork checklist here as a reminder of the things you need. We, of course, when we'll go through your paperwork, we'll let you know if anything's missing. Let me go. So then the office forms is just a link to just the beginning of this list of all the downloads. We then have a phone list, which this will pop up in a new window because it's printable, so it won't show up in the screen. But that's just, you can search for a broker's phone number if you need to find someone. This list does have email addresses on it too, if you need to email an agent, whereas on the public side, you can look up agents' phone numbers, but it doesn't display email addresses, so it's protected from spammers. And you can also search by city. So if you were, say, you needed a broker in Arlington to show a home for you, you can go in there and just search for, scroll down to Arlington and see which brokers live in that area. And then what you guys will use the most probably is the upload transaction. And this is where you can turn in paperwork to the office. The system's very flexible. You can do individual forms if that's what you prefer doing. If you'd rather just scan the whole thing and upload it in one PDF, you can do that. That's fine. Usually you're going to be adding, after the initial purchase and sale, you're going to be adding like inspection responses. So you'll get a few files. So this one, you would start just by entering in your address. Just do street and city at the most. I'll just put in our admin's office and then click add folder. And that'll make a folder down here. And then you can select your transaction from here if you have multiple ones. It'll default to whatever you last used. So if you're uploading multiple files, I'll just, since that popped up, I'll just upload a picture of the admin's office. And you can add, if you do them one by one, you can add a comment to it. You can upload multiple items at a time, but then the comment would show up on all of them, just so you're aware of that. As you can see, it stayed on that one, so I can go through, upload more files. If you accidentally upload something twice or the wrong paperwork, you can go in and delete that and then upload the correct one. And you can upload files in PDF, JPEG, and TIFF. You don't see too often, but every once in a while I still see that. It's kind of old scanning format. And then you can upload Word files. It's often like things from, like I've seen, you know, pre-qualifications in Word and things like that. So you can upload those. And then we do have links if you want to use our cover sheet right here. That's no longer required for you to turn in a cover sheet. But if you want to keep using them just for your own reference, we have both a PDF version for printing and a Word version where you can type in it. And those are good just for having one sheet that's got all your contact information for, you know, your buyers or sellers, the title, the escrow, the other agent, and so forth. As well as you can enter in the dates for various when you know, earnest money's due, when inspections due, and so forth. So then after that, we've got some useful links, which are, these are just little tools I've found online that are useful. You know, some just for real estate, like we have the lead paint disclosure that, you know, we have that on the MLS. But here, if you need it in another language, I've got links to the more common ones. And there's a link to their website. You can download many different languages from the HUD website. And then we have tools for creating PDFs from like your emails to turn in, capital gains calculator, links to tools for using Office, you know, templates. If you have really old version of Office that doesn't support newer formats, there's a compatibility patch that will kind of upgrade it to at least open those files. Hopefully not too many around still have that. Then again, we've got the link to the vendors, quick link for that. And then lastly, we have virtual tours. So if you have an active listing in the MLS, it would show up here. And it's just going to give you a box with a URL to copy. This is an MLS compliant virtual tour, so there's no, you know, marketing information on it. And you can just copy and paste that URL into the listing input for the virtual tour. And it has like random music that will play while it does a slideshow of your listing photos, and everything's automatic. You don't have to create anything on that. And it will, once the listing sells, it will automatically disappear because it's no longer in the IDX feed. So you don't have to worry about taking it down afterwards and accidentally having marketing out there for something that isn't for sale anymore. So that's by far the easiest way to do a virtual tour. You know, use that in the MLS and be compliant. Then lastly, on your guys' menu will be log out for when you're done. Everything else below that's just staff stuff. So did anyone have any questions on how any of this works? So I'll take that as no questions.
Hey, Chris,
Yeah.
just quick question. How far out can you renew your license?
Sorry, what was that? I couldn't quite understand you.
I say, how far out can someone renew their license?
Oh,
Let's say the license is expiring in May. How far
yeah, I
out
don't
can you
know if there, I don't think there's any specific time you have to wait or, wait until you're so close to it, that I know of. Obviously you wouldn't want to renew like a year ahead of time, but, yeah, I mean, May is not that far off. So, and especially if you need like clock hours, you want to get started on that.
Okay.
And one thing, make sure you do it online. We have had a couple brokers that they did it through mail, printed everything up and mailed it to the DOL. And that's it caused a few issues where it ended up being like several months before they got actually renewed. And at which point they actually expired, just as with COVID and so few people were actually working in the office. And that was like back, like in the summer last year, but just to be safe, do it online. It'll be much quicker. And again, with COVID, I would start a little bit early than you normally would, just to make sure you don't end up expired for a little while. So any other questions?
All right, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So, okay. Well, it sounds like that's it. So if anyone else has any questions, you can always email me too, or give me a call. So glad
I just want to make a comment, Chris. Can you hear me, Chris?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. I think this is very, very user-friendly website.
Thank you.
I think I want to thank you for making my life so much easier. I've been to a number of offices. This is the most user-friendly technology regarding to the user-friendly. This is so much easier to use. I can't. I don't know about you guys. This is make my job a lot easier.
Yeah, well, that's why we're here. And thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate this.
Okay. If nobody else has any questions, we'll wrap it up a little bit early.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank
everyone,
you.
take care and thanks for coming.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye-bye.